Have you ever traveled somewhere and suddenly forgotten the English you already knew? Maybe you were at the airport. Maybe you needed to ask for directions. Or maybe someone asked you a simple question, but your mind went completely blank. You knew the words, you had studied them before, but at that moment you could not find them. If that has happened to you, this listening practice is for you. Today I am going to take you through a full day of traveling in English. We will start at the airport. Then we will take a taxi, check into a hotel, order food, ask for directions, go shopping and deal with a small problem. As you listen, imagine that you are traveling with me. Do not try to translate every sentence. Just follow the situation. Listen to how everyday English is used naturally. I will also give you chances to answer simple questions in English. Ready? Our journey starts early in the morning. I am standing outside the airport with my suitcase. I check my phone one last time. Passport, ticket, wallet. Everything is with me. I walk through the entrance and look around. Airports can feel confusing when you do not know where to go. There are people everywhere. Some are carrying suitcases. Some are looking at the information screens. Others are standing in long lines. The first thing I need to do is find the check-in counter. I look at the large screen and find my flight number. Then I check which counter I need. I find it and join the line. After a few minutes, it is my turn. At the counter, I need to show my passport and flight information. I also have a suitcase to check in. One useful sentence here is, I would like to check in for my flight. Another useful sentence is, I have one bag to check in. These are simple sentences, but they can be very useful when you travel. After checking in, I receive my boarding pass. Before walking away, I check the gate number. Gate 24. I also check the boarding time. I do this immediately because I do not want to rush later. Now imagine you are at the airport. You cannot find the check-in counter. What could you ask? You could say, "Excuse me, where is the check-in counter for this flight?" Try saying that out loud. "Excuse me, where is the check-in counter for this flight?" Good. Now I head towards security. There is another line. Luckily, it is moving quickly. When I reach the front, I put my belongings in a tray. My phone, my wallet, my bag. After going through security, I collect everything again. I always check twice because leaving your phone or passport behind at an airport would be a terrible way to start a trip. Now I have some time before boarding, so I decide to find my gate first. This is something I always prefer to do. Once I know exactly where my gate is, I can relax. I follow the signs. Gate 18, Gate 20, Gate 22, and finally, Gate 24. Perfect. I still have about 40 minutes. There is a small cafe nearby, so I decide to get something to drink. I walk to the counter and order a coffee. I could simply say, "Could I have a coffee, please?" Notice the phrase, "could I have?" It is a very natural and polite way to order something. You can use it in many situations. Could I have a bottle of water, please? Could I have a sandwich, please? Could I have the menu, please? You do not need complicated English. Simple and polite English works very well. I take my coffee and sit near the gate. While I wait, I look around. People are speaking different languages. Flights are being announced. Some passengers are sleeping. Others are watching videos on their phones. Then I hear the announcement for my flight. Boarding has started. I finish my coffee, pick up my bag, and join the line. A little later, I am on the plane. I find my seat and put my bag away. Luckily, I have a window seat. I sit down, fasten my seat belt, and look outside. A few minutes later, the plane begins to move, and our trip officially begins. After the flight, I arrive at my destination. I collect my suitcase and walk out of the airport. Now I need to get to my hotel. I decide to take a taxi. Outside the airport, I find the taxi area. I show the driver the name of my hotel. There are several ways I could explain where I want to go. I could say, "Could you take me to this hotel, please?" Or, "I would like to go to this address, please." Again, very simple English. The driver knows the hotel, so we start moving. While we are driving, I look out of the window. Everything feels new. Different streets, different buildings, different shops. This is one of my favorite things about traveling. Even an ordinary street can feel interesting when you are somewhere new. After about 20 minutes, we reach the hotel. Before getting out, I need to pay. If I am not sure about the price, I can ask, "How much is it?" Or, "How much do I owe you?" "How much do I owe you" is a useful expression when you need to know how much money you should pay someone. I pay the driver, take my suitcase, and walk into the hotel. Now comes another important travel situation. Checking into a hotel. I walk to the front desk. I have already booked a room, so I can say, "Hi, I have a reservation." The receptionist asks for my name and passport. After checking the reservation, I receive my room key. But before going upstairs, I have a few questions. I want to know what time breakfast starts, so I ask, "What time is breakfast?" I also want to know where it is served, so I ask, "Where is breakfast served?" Then I ask one more question. What time is checkout? These 3 questions can be useful in almost any hotel. What time is breakfast? Where is breakfast served? What time is checkout? Try repeating them. Good. Now I take the elevator to my room. I open the door and put my suitcase down. The room looks comfortable. There is a bed near the window, a small desk, and a bathroom. I am tired from traveling, but I do not want to spend the whole day inside the hotel. So after resting for a little while, I decide to go outside. By now I am getting hungry. I find a small restaurant nearby. The restaurant is quite busy, but there are a few empty tables. I walk in. If I am not sure whether I can sit anywhere, I might ask, "Is this table available?" Or, "Can I sit here?" Once I sit down, I look at the menu. There are several dishes I do not recognize. This happens often when you travel. Sometimes you look at a menu and have absolutely no idea what something is. Instead of pretending to understand, you can simply ask, "What is this?" Or, "What do you recommend?" What do you recommend is especially useful. You are asking the person to suggest something good. You can use this question in restaurants, cafes, shops, and many other places. I choose something simple. When I am ready to order, I say, "I would like this, please," and I order a bottle of water too. The food arrives a little later. Luckily, it is delicious. After finishing my meal, I need to pay. Depending on where you are, you might say, "Could I have the bill, please?" Or, "Could I have the check, please?" Both can be understood, although bill is more common in British English and check is common in American English. Now let me ask you a question. Imagine you are in a restaurant and you do not know what to order. What could you ask? Think about it. You could ask, "What do you recommend?" Exactly. After lunch, I want to explore the area. There is a famous place I want to visit, but I am not exactly sure how to get there. I could use my phone, but imagine my internet is not working. Now I need to ask someone for directions. I see someone nearby and say, "Excuse me, could you tell me how to get to the city centre?" The person explains the way. Go straight, turn left at the traffic lights, then take the second right. It should be on your left. Directions can sound difficult because you need to understand several pieces of information quickly, so let us slow them down. Go straight means continue moving forward. Turn left means go to the left. Turn right means go to the right. At the traffic lights tells you where to make the turn. On your left means the place will be on the left side. Imagine someone tells you, "Go straight and turn right at the traffic lights." Can you picture that in your mind? Good. That is a useful listening skill. When you hear directions, try to create a mental picture instead of translating every word. I follow the directions and eventually reach the place I was looking for. I spend some time exploring. I take a few photos. I walk around. And I enjoy being somewhere different. Later in the afternoon, I decide to do a little shopping. I see a shop selling clothes and small souvenirs. I go inside and look around. I find something I like, but there is no price on it. So I ask, "Excuse me, how much is this?" The shop assistant tells me the price. Then I find a shirt that looks nice, but I am not sure whether it will fit. So I ask, "Do you have this in a different size?" This sentence is very useful when shopping for clothes. Do you have this in a different size? You could also ask, "Do you have this in a larger size?" Or, "Do you have this in a smaller size?" If you want to try something on, you can ask, "Can I try this on?" Trying something means putting on clothes temporarily to see whether they fit or look good. I try the shirt on. Unfortunately, it does not fit very well, so I decide not to buy it. But I find a small souvenir instead. I pay for it and leave the shop. By now, I have been walking for quite a long time. I decide to return to the hotel, but then I realize something. I am not completely sure where I am. I recognize some of the streets, but I cannot remember which direction leads back to the hotel. This is a very realistic travel problem. So I stop and ask someone, "Excuse me, I am trying to get back to my hotel. Could you help me?" Notice that I did not need perfect English. I simply explained the problem. "I am trying to get back to my hotel. Could you help me?" The person points me in the right direction. Luckily, the hotel is only about 10 minutes away. When I finally get back, I am tired. I take the elevator upstairs and enter my room, but there is a small problem. The air conditioning is not working properly. At first, I try changing the settings. Nothing happens. So I call the front desk. I explain, "Hi, the air conditioning in my room is not working. Could someone take a look at it, please?" Take a look at it means check the problem. This is another useful expression. You could say, "The shower is not working. Could someone take a look at it?" Or, "There is a problem with the door. Could someone take a look at it?" When something goes wrong while traveling, you do not need advanced vocabulary. First, explain what the problem is. Then ask for help. "There is a problem with my room. The Wi-Fi is not working. I cannot open the door. I think I left something in the taxi. Could you help me?" Simple sentences can solve many problems. Someone comes to check the air conditioning. Fortunately, it is a small problem and they fix it quickly. Now I can finally relax. I sit near the window and think about the day. This morning I was at the airport. Since then I have checked into a hotel, ordered food, asked for directions, gone shopping, and solved a problem. And almost every situation required only simple English. That is something important to remember. When you travel, you do not need to speak perfect English. You need useful English. You need to be able to explain what you want, ask a question, understand the important part of an answer, and ask again if you do not understand. For example, if someone speaks too quickly, you can say, "Could you say that again, please?" If you still do not understand, say, "Could you speak a little more slowly, please?" And if you want to make sure you understood correctly, you can say, "So I need to turn left here." These simple sentences can make traveling much less stressful. Now let us see how much you remember from today's journey. I'm going to ask you 5 questions. Try to answer before I give you the answer. Question 1. What did I do before going through airport security? I checked in for my flight and received my boarding pass. Question 2. What did I say when I arrived at the hotel? I said, "Hi, I have a reservation." Question 3. What question did I use when I did not know what food to order? I asked, "What do you recommend?" Question 4. What can you ask if you want to put on a piece of clothing before buying it? You can ask, "Can I try this on?" And question 5. What can you say when someone is speaking too quickly? You can say, "Could you speak a little more slowly, please? How many did you remember? Now it is your turn." Imagine you have just arrived in a new country. Complete these sentences out loud. At the airport, I need to. At the hotel, I would ask. At a restaurant, I usually order. If I get lost, I would say. If I do not understand someone, I would say. Pause if you need more time. Do not worry about perfect grammar. Focus on communicating clearly. And here is one final challenge. Imagine your next trip. You arrive at the airport. You take a taxi. You check into your hotel. You go to a restaurant. Then you explore the city. Try describing that entire experience in English for 1 minute. Use simple sentences. The goal is not perfection. The goal is to make English feel easier when you actually need it. The more you listen to everyday English, the more familiar these sentences become. And when a real situation happens, you will not need to build every sentence from the beginning. You will already have useful English ready in your mind. If you enjoyed this travel English listening practice, subscribe to Flex Your English for more everyday English practice. And before you leave, answer one question in the comments. Where would you like to travel next? Write one complete sentence in English. For example, I would love to travel to Japan. Keep listening, keep practicing, and keep flexing your English.